Hello, and welcome to another video of how to draw dragons with the Dragon Story. So in this video, I'm going to do something a little bit different. And I promise you, this is the most important video you will ever watch. Even though you might seem like it might seem like it's kind of foolish. But I've noticed as I talk about doing dragon drawings, there's a lot of things I refer to, some foundational principles that I refer to, that I don't talk about a lot. And if you haven't had any formal training or schooling in art or drawing, these might be confusing. So I kind of wanted to back up and just cover some of these foundational principles. Just so when I talk about them, you know what I'm talking about. And so the first one is all about shapes. And you probably hear me when I'm like mapping out my dragon design, I always talk about the shape and form and all that stuff. And so shape is really important. And so if there is ever a time where, so if you're looking at your drawings and you're like, it's not reading well, it doesn't look as good, practice drawing shapes. Just spend a whole day drawing circles, then draw squares, then draw rectangles, then draw triangles. Make them big or small, I guess. Make them big and small and tiny. And, you can move them around. But just spend some time drawing shapes. I remember in high school, my high school art teacher, like for a whole day, he just had us draw shapes. And I just thought, man, this is the craziest thing ever. But it's because there's several things that happen when you just draw shapes. So like, what? If you're ever doodling and you don't know what to draw, just draw shapes. If you sat there and practice and drew like 500 circles, you would be so good at drawing circles by the end. You'd be like, I can draw a perfect circle. Whew. Oops. And I didn't. Clearly, I need to practice more. But you know what I mean. You would do it. If you were drawing a circle, that would have been awesome. I just need more practice. Oh, and he's surrounded by squares. But yeah, he had us just draw shapes over and over and over again. And that's because when you draw shapes, you are training your mind and your hand. It's like your hand starts to learn how to communicate what your brain is seeing, because your brain knows exactly what a square looks like. It knows exactly what a triangle looks like. It knows exactly what a circle looks like. So it knows if you draw something like that, your brain knows it's not a circle. And so by just practicing this over and over and over again, it's like your brain and hand learn to communicate a lot better. And then you'll be able to start capturing more elaborate shapes that you see in your head, if that makes sense. And so I'm telling you, if you spend some time just practicing shapes, and you'll notice a lot of times, see, and I even do that, like all my squares, they're like kind of at this angle. And that's one reason that sometimes my drawings get off. They get like off kilter. And it's because I haven't practiced doing different shapes. Circles seem to exist. Oh, the other thing you can do with circles is try and imagine them as orbits in like 3D space. And you can even try really big shapes. And of course, digital drawing has spoiled us on straight lines, because I don't know if you knew this. If you draw a line and hold it, it draws a straight line, which I don't think is necessarily cheating. But obviously, if you're sketching, you still want to train your hand to be able to make these straight lines. And you want to make the lines in different, I guess I totally ignored lines, sorry, shape. Circle, square, triangle, line. Line is another one. because if you ever end up cross-hatching or texturing, it's just all practice. It all trains the brain. So even though this looks kind of crazy, this obviously does not look like a dragon, but I promise you, this is all the ingredients. This is like gathering the raw ingredients, you know, like the eggs and flour and all that to make your cake. But this is the basic, this is the beginning of drawing your dragon. So if you don't know what to draw, practice shapes. I promise you it will pay off. And so that's probably the first principle I would cover. But then I have a couple other principles to cover, so be sure to check out the next video. Thanks for watching, and have tons of fun drawing shapes. Thanks.